Welcome back to Mexico Relocation Guide. My name is Mariana. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today we're diving into one of the most magical places in Mexico, Tepoztlán, Morelos. Whether you're thinking about relocating or just curious about this unique pueblo mágico, we've got you covered in this video. So let's begin. But before we begin, let me know in the comments where you were watching us from. I love reading where you're watching us from. So, comencemos. Well, Tepoztlán is not just another picturesque town in Mexico. It's a place steeped in history and spiritual significance. It's famously known for the pyramids in the Tepozteco Mountains. As well as their crafts, Tepoztlán is one of the places that feels special in more than just one way. And is believed to be the birthplace of Quetzalcoatl, the Aztec god of wind and wisdom. Its rich history is evident in the ancient ruins, colonial architecture, and the vibrant local culture that thrives here today. Now, you're located just 50 miles south of Mexico City, or about 1.5 to 2 hours, depending on where in Mexico City you're traveling from or to. So it's an ideal location for those who want a peaceful retreat without being too far from a major city. Also only about 10 to 20 minutes away from Cuernavaca, another city on our list of best places to live in Mexico. And for those of you who are applying for residency in this area, this will be the closest city where an immigration office is. Now, Tepoztlán is often considered one of Mexico's most mystical towns. The energy of the Tepozteco Mountains and the ancient traditions passed down through generations have created a unique atmosphere that attracts spiritual seekers from all over the world. Now, people come here to meditate, participate in ceremonies, and explore their spiritual paths. There are various wellness centers, constant retreats, healing spas, and those kinds of things. So if you're into this, you may love living in Tepos, as the locals often call it. Now, one of the key aspects of Tepoztlán's spiritual culture is its community of shamans and healers. Now, these individuals are highly respected and know deeply about traditional healing practices, including herbal medicine, energy work, and spiritual cleansing. So many visitors and locals seek out these shamans for guidance, healing, and ceremonies, connecting them to the spiritual world. But what is the vibe like in Tepoztlán? Or for those of you who are wondering, how many foreigners can you expect to find here? Now, there is a small but growing expat community here, which can be a great resource for newcomers. Now, many expats are drawn to Tepoztlán for its peaceful vibe and spiritual atmosphere. So if that's more your vibe, then Tepos would probably be a good place for you. The main town is small. It has a population of about 15,000 people. While the rural outskirts in Tepos and the surrounding areas, which make up the totality, is an area of about 30,000 people total. So it isn't huge by any means. But you're so close to Mexico City where you can find virtually anything that your heart desires that it makes up for the smaller community. In fact, the day trip isn't unusual for those coming from Mexico City and vice versa. Now, Tepos is a young-feeling city. According to the Mexican government, 25% of the population is under 24 years old. And you can kind of feel that when you walk around. Now, because it is a smaller town with a small expat community, you can probably guess that English is not widely spoken. You'll hear a mixture of Español, Mixteco, and Nahuatl, which are the primary languages spoken in Tepoztlán. Of course, Spanish is the most common and the most spoken across all locals. Now, there are some people in the service industry that may speak a bit of English, but don't expect it to be the norm like in Puerto Vallarta or Los Cabos, Ajijic, or even the Riviera Maya, just to give you an example. That being said, it's certainly possible to live here and get by without speaking a lot of Español, though learning the basics will make your life much easier and help you integrate into the community. Now, for those of you wondering, Tepoztlán is considered a safe town with a very low crime rate, which makes it an attractive option for families, retirees, and singles. As with any small town, the community is welcoming, and supportive, and it's close-knit, which adds to the sense of security. Now, what about the weather in Tepoztlán? Well, one of the things that makes Tepos so appealing is its climate. The town enjoys a mild, temperate climate year-round. The average temperatures range between 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so it never gets really too cold and it never gets really too hot. This not only saves you money on electricity, since you won't need to run an air conditioner all year long, but it also helps you keep windows open and enjoy the fresh air. It makes for the perfect place for outdoor activities all year long and enjoying the area's natural beauty. Now, because the town is very small, Tepoztlán has, like I mentioned before, a close-knit community feel where, you're offered plenty of amenities and services year-round, but you also get to know the people around you. Now, Tepoztlán is located in a seismically active region, so earthquakes can occur, though they are usually minor and mostly not felt because the epicenters are usually in nearby Puebla or Mexico City. If you do ever feel seismic activity, just anywhere in Mexico, not only Tepos, it's important to exit your building as soon as possible. If it's not possible, just find the safest corner of your home. If you are able to exit, try to find a safe place that is not surrounded by buildings or towering things like trees. But again, in Tepos, earthquakes are usually very mild, if at all noticeable. Luckily, the town is not in a hurricane zone, so you don't need to worry about this natural disaster like on the coast of Mexico. The mountainous terrain provides protection and makes the weather cool year-round, so it really is just a really special place. Tepoztlán is one of those places that might be on your top list out of all of Mexico if you like things like small towns that are not hot all year round, if you like natural beauty and hiking, you enjoy the mystic sense of shamans and natural well-being. But it is small, and some people may not love that. It can be very limiting on things like shopping, things to do, and those kinds of things. Which brings us to our next point, shopping options in Tepoztlán. Tepoztlán has a range of small, local shops and markets where you can buy fresh produce and daily essentials. However, if you're looking for larger supermarkets like Walmart or those kinds of things, the nearest options are in Cuernavaca, which is about 30 to 45 minutes away by car. Now, many residents that live in Tepos do a big shopping trip once a week or every few weeks, combining it with other errands in the nearby city. Now, understanding the cost of groceries is probably going to be essential when planning your budget for living in Tepoztlán. So let's look at some of the common items and their prices here. For example, 1 kilo of bananas, which is about 2.2 pounds, will typically cost around 30 pesos, which is around $1.50 USD, depending on the season and, of course, where you buy them. Chicken breast is a staple for many, and here in Tepoztlán, you can expect to pay about 140 pesos per kilo or about 350 USD a pound. And for beef, specifically maciza, which is a lean cut, you're looking at about 200 pesos for a kilo or about $5 a pound. Now, these grocery prices, of course, can vary on the season, where you shop them, and the specific grocery item that you're purchasing. For produce like vegetables, fruits, dairy, meat, and whole foods, you will find these at the local mercado, which is also known as a mercado municipal. But you can also find grocery items at a small local grocery store like Super Tepos, which is a slightly larger convenience store with a variety of foods like cereals, rice, beans, meats, cheeses, dairy, sodas, liquor, bread, pasta, canned goods, and then other household items like, dishwashing soap, toilet paper, and the essentials that you would need on a regular basis. So these options like Super Tepos will help you cover the essentials between trips to larger grocery stores. Now, if you're keen on a very specific brand or a very particular food, then you'll probably need to travel to Cuernavaca or Mexico City. Now, if you want to learn more about Cuernavaca, because I've mentioned it a lot throughout this video, check the link in the comments for a video we did on Cuernavaca. Now, as you can see, all in all, grocery prices in Tepoztlán are very affordable, allowing you to enjoy fresh, local ingredients without breaking the bank. Now, this is just one more reason why Tepoztlán is a great place to live. One thing that may be pleasantly surprising to you is the variety of organic and artisanal produce in and around Tepoztlán. Now, due to its rich soil and temperate climate year-round, local farmers grow a variety of fruits and vegetables. It's also common to see herbal remedies and unique foods like amaranth and honey at the local markets. Now, supporting these local producers is a great way to immerse yourself in the community, put money directly back into your local community, learn about Mexican traditions, and enjoy some truly unique food. Now, I encourage you to visit the local mercados, tianguis, or any local stores to get a feel of what is available in your backyard. And for those that are gluten intolerant or sensitive, you should also know that the Mexican diet or the Mexican cuisine in general has staples like corn tortillas, tamales, beans, and most of these staple foods are naturally gluten-free. So now that we have the most basics out of the way, what about neighborhoods or local colonias? Where in Tepoztlán will you live? Now, Tepos is made up of a couple of areas, each offering a unique vibe and lifestyle. Whether you're looking for a quiet retreat or a place closer to all the action, there's something for everyone. Now let's take a close look at some of the neighborhoods that we recommend. First up is Santo Domingo, one of the more traditional neighborhoods. This area is known for its charming, narrow streets lined with big trees, colorful houses, and small shops. It's close enough to Centro, making it convenient for those who want to walk or be close to the local markets and all the main attractions. Right here tends to be a bit higher for rent due to its prime location, but the authentic feel of the neighborhood is really worth it. For example, we found rentals ranging from 25,000 to 50,000 pesos a month, which is about 1,300 USD to about 2,500 USD a month. It is pretty high, but you get really, really large homes in this area. Usually they have a huge backyard. Sometimes they might have a heated pool, and they usually have 3 or more bedrooms. Just to give you an example, check out this house renting for 40,000 pesos, which is about 2,000 US dollars, depending on the exchange rate. It's furnished, has 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a large backyard with a heated pool, and has some things like water included. Now, the next one is Valle de Atongo. This is another area in Tepoztlán that is one of the most picturesque. Located just a short distance from the centro, Valle de Atongo is a tranquil and beautiful valley that offers a more rural, natural-focused lifestyle. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's just surrounded by natural beauty, and the valley is surrounded by lush greenery, dramatic cliffs, and the Tepozteco Mountains, which make it a perfect spot for nature lovers. Now, it's common to see people around here hiking, bird watching, or simply enjoying the peaceful environment. If you're looking for a place where you can connect with nature every day, sipping on your morning coffee in the natural beauty, we think that Valle de Atongo is a good place. Now, living here is a unique experience when compared to other areas, and that means that the area is more spread out. It does have larger properties overall that often come with spacious gardens or even sometimes small farms. So this area is a good place for those who plan to do some homesteading in Mexico. Now, if you value space and privacy, I think that you will love this area. The homes here range from traditional Mexican homes to more modern, eco-friendly designs, often blending seamlessly with the natural surroundings. So it's really neat. They really do use the natural surroundings to make it feel like a whole. Generally, you can expect to pay around 400 to 1,000 US dollars per month for a rental, depending on the quality of the home, of course. Rustic and small homes or cottages will be on the lower end, while larger properties with modern amenities and larger gardens will be on the higher end of that range. Now, what you get here is the tranquility and breathtaking views in Valle de Atongo, which make it a sought-after area. So it's a good idea to act quickly if you find a place that you love that is for rent, because places in this area aren't always available. Lastly, we have Amatlan de Quetzalcoatl, a small village just outside of Tepoztlán. This area is famous for its spiritual significance since it's considered a sacred place by locals. Now, it is a bit more remote, so you'll definitely need a car to live here. But if you're looking for a truly laid-back experience that's quiet with a strong sense of community, Amatlan is a fantastic option. Plus, you'll be surrounded by some of the most beautiful natural landscapes in the region. Now, living in Tepoztlán can be surprisingly affordable, especially compared to larger cities like Mexico City. Overall, the cost of living in Tepos and the surrounding towns is comparable to places like Tlaquepaque, Cholula, Atlisco, or similar towns where the climate is temperate and there aren't a lot of foreigners, plus they are close to a major city. For example, rents for a one-bedroom apartment, just in general, can range from $400 to $600 per month, depending on location, amenities, size, those kinds of things. Groceries and dining out are also reasonably priced, with fresh produce available at the local market. So overall, we'd say you can live comfortably on a budget of around $1,200 to $1,800 a month. Of course, the larger your household, the higher your monthly expenses. And therefore, this budget should also increase. But it should give you a good idea of what you can expect for a comfortable life in Tepoztlán. Now, when it comes to utilities like electricity and water, Tepoztlán is really affordable. On average, electricity costs about $40 to $100 every 2 months, depending on the usage. Now, water is usually included in rent, but if it isn't, then you can expect costs to be about $10 to $15 per month. So again, very affordable. Overall, utility costs are low, which contributes to the town's affordable cost of living. Now, before we get into one of my favorite topics, food and local treats, I want to pause this video real quick and let you know about our free Move to Mexico cheat sheet. Sign up for a free cheat sheet and you'll get information on the most important first steps you need to consider before moving to Mexico. Link is in the comments down below. Hey, also, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to give it a like. YouTube really likes it when you engage with our videos, so help us out and give this video a like. Okay, now on to one of the most important topics, at least for me anyway, and that is food. Now, if you're anything like me, you love to eat out. You love to go to different food stalls, eat a variety of local restaurants, and try different local treats to see what you like. And Tepoztlán is known for its delicious and authentic Mexican cuisine. Now, when you come, you should definitely try the famous itacates. These are a type of triangular-shaped corn masa stuffed with various fillings like beans, meats, or cheese. You should also try things like tlacoyos, huazontles, cecina, and the famous Tepoznieves. It's a very famous local ice cream shop with hundreds of unique flavors and combinations of ice cream. Some of the fan favorites are pétalo de rosa, which is rose petals, or beso de teposteco, which is made up of various citrus fruits and doesn't have any added sugar. If you love street food, there's so much street food in Tepoztlán and it's really affordable. Most meals will range between $3 to $8 per person, and trust me, you will not feel hungry afterwards. For a sit-down meal at a local restaurant, you can expect to pay around $15 to $20 per person. Again, this is at a very nice sit-down local restaurant. We highly recommend, if you're looking for a place, Los Colorines restaurant. They have specialties like sopes, tlacoyos, huaraches, cecinas, and enchiladas. They're a popular spot for breakfast and for lunch. Now, Tepoztlán also has a couple of organic and vegetarian-friendly options at some restaurants and cafes, which does reflect its health-conscious community. So now that you know what options you have for shopping, living, and socializing, what can you expect when it comes to filling your free time? Well, Tepoztlán is packed with things to see and do. For those who love the outdoors, there's no shortage of hiking. Hiking up the Teposteco Pyramid is a must. The views from the top are absolutely breathtaking. I also think it's a great hobby to visit the local market, which is famous for its vibrant crafts and delicious food. Now, don't miss out on Temazcal. It's a traditional Mexican steam bath, which is unique and a relaxing experience, also known to help people detox. And of course, we recommend exploring the charming streets, just walking around, visiting local art galleries, and enjoying the lively atmosphere of the town. especially on the weekends. So how will you get around? Well, Tepoztlán doesn't have its own airport, but the nearest major airport is the Mexico City International Airport, which has hundreds of international flights, either direct or some with some connections. It's located about 50 miles north, or again, about an hour and a half. Another option is a Cuernavaca Airport, which is closer, but offers fewer international flights. If you need to reach the nearest airport, the most popular ways are by bus or private taxi. There are regular bus services that connect Tepoztlán to Cuernavaca and Mexico City, where you can catch a flight. Now, getting around Tepos is easy. Thanks to its well-organized public transportation system, it has buses and colectivos. These are the most common forms of transport for locals, and they're both reliable and very affordable. If you want to learn more about colectivos, check out our blog post. I'll link the article in the comment section. Now, if you're looking to travel to nearby cities such as Cuernavaca or Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico City, there are also frequent bus services. And for those who prefer to drive, the roads are generally well-maintained, though you might want to consider a smaller vehicle due to the town's narrow streets. Public transportation within Tepoztlán is very affordable and convenient. Again, the local buses, also known as colectivos, typically cost between 10 to 20 pesos per ride, depending on your destination. They run frequently and are a great way to get around or even visit the nearby town of Cuernavaca. Now, taxis are also readily available in Tepos and are a really convenient way to get around, especially if you're traveling with luggage, you're going to the grocery store so you have to haul some groceries back, or during late hours. Typically, rides cost around $3 to $5. Now, one thing to note, while services like Uber and Didi are widely available in major cities like Guadalajara, Mexico City, Puerto Vallarta, Los Cabos, just to name a few, obviously Playa del Carmen, and the cities that a lot of you probably already know, in Tepoztlán, these rideshare services are not common. However, you can still find them in nearby Cuernavaca or Mexico City, and they are reliable options for trips outside of town. Now, for those looking to travel longer distances, this town is connected by several long-distance bus companies that connect to major cities like Mexico City, Cuernavaca, Puebla, and beyond. Tickets for these buses are reasonably priced. They usually range from $10 to $30 depending on the destination and, of course, the level of service. They have, things like Clase Turismo, which is usually a lower end ticket, and then they have like Clase Ejecutiva, which is like a first class ticket if you want to make that comparison. And they usually just, vary on the level of bus or where maybe on the bus you're seated. Now, parking on Tepoztlán can be a bit tricky, especially during weekends and holidays when tourists flock to the town. There are very few public parking spaces throughout the town, so parking lots are very common. They charge 50 to 100 pesos per day. It's less than $5. Now, it's always a good idea to arrive early if you're visiting a popular spot and you plan to park nearby. All right, now that we have those things out of the way, what can you expect when it comes to healthcare? So there are a few clinics and a small hospital, but for more specialized care, Cuernavaca and especially Mexico City, also known as CDMX, is your best bet, which offer a wider range of medical services. The local small hospital is going to be limited on what they can offer in terms of emergencies. Now, they may be able to stabilize you and wait for an ambulance while they can get you to a nearby larger hospital. Now, I'd love to know, what are you thinking at this point? Is Tepoztlán a place you'd like to scout? Now, Tepoztlán, to me personally, truly is a magical place with so much to offer, from its rich history and culture to its stunning natural beauty. If you're considering relocating to Mexico and you really like small towns, you enjoy cooler climate, you love natural beauty, then I think this town should definitely be on your short list. Now, I hope this guide has given you a better idea of what life in Tepoztlán could be like. If you'd like to have more information on moving to Mexico, remember that we have an easy-to-follow online guide that gives you the most important steps for moving to Mexico the right way. Plus, we keep it consistently updated. That way you're not relying your most important decisions on outdated information. And you also get our directory of vetted contacts across Mexico, like immigration facilitators, realtors, lawyers, relocation tour guides, private drivers, and so much more. So check out our customer reviews and see what's included in our complete Mexico relocation guide by going to our website, mexicorelocationguide.com/guide. So this is not goodbye, amigos. This is just an hasta luego. I hope that you have enjoyed this overview of Tepoztlán, and I hope that you have enjoyed any of our other videos on our Mexico Relocation Guide channel. My name is Mariana. This is Mexico Relocation Guide, and I will see you all in the next video. Nos vemos!